Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back with another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Wednesday, July 27th, and we managed to have enough news and enough gameplay to play, which is kind of surprising that we have enough gameplay to play, because these super easy daily quests are really easy to get done, but the Tavern Brawl came back out, and the Tavern Brawl is proving to be slightly frustrating. So let's hop into it quickly now. That's kind of all I need to do is succeed. Maybe I should just play as this. Let's see. Hunter. And then we'll try that. Let's see. Play a minion, play 7 1-cost minions, summon a queen. Not sure I want to do that, but that'd be interesting. Wow. I'm gonna have to remember, yeah, on my main account, it's not an easy task to even go through your full collection of regular things. If your deck has no minions, fill your hand with hunter spells. I guess we could try that. But I'm not sure that's actually true. Looking for spells that will do damage. 5 damage to a minion, 3 damage to a minion and the hero. I'll take that. Let's see. Deal 3 damage to a minion, summon a wolf. Give a beast +3/+3. Kill command isn't probably that good. Secrets. Here. Maybe deadly shot, maybe not. Snipe. Looking for anything that would increase the amount of damage. Deal 3 damage. Explosive trap. Let's see, that's like 6 right there. Not a lot of cards actually doing damage. So I'm gambling here on this hunter deck. Normally I'd just be playing with the mage deck yet again. But I'm gambling to see if maybe the hunter special ability every turn could... No, like the hunter special ability won't even play a factor. This was a dumb move. This was a dumb move. Alright, well, let's start talking about games, and I guess I'm starting on a... Well, like, is there a reason to even talk about this game? No, not really. You got a terrible asset flip game called Nazi on Steam. The graphics look awful.
On guard, none shall
like,
pass.
no real reason to even have mentioned the name. Just because it's a bad game. If it was a Wolfenstein game and it was good, oh, that would be something. We've got a Getting Over It with Benet Foddy clone, which in itself was a clone, called Shooting Over It to Be a Star. It's 15% off for $3.39. I don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth that. I don't think it's worth anything. Start. Resolution, Dots Branch, again, back to the way it needs to be to play Black Mirror. I did get 3 recordings of Black Mirror done, so I'm not super upset with my progress, but getting like 3 hours of footage for 3 days or less of trying to work is an incredibly low amount of production. And I think I haven't said it out loud yet, but I think I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna probably at the end of the year just straight on say I can't probably do much pre-recorded footage at all. It may be that instead of having time slots where right now the early time slot is a kids game or a point-and-click adventure game. It used to be a kids game and a point-and-click adventure game, 2 different time slots that have been merged. And also there used to be a 7 o'clock time slot for a second AAA game. Honestly, it may just break down to 1, maybe 2 games getting aired on my channel every day. And we may just go in order, in random orders, because I'm just losing steam, frankly. Nothing else, because of the way YouTube has screwed up small-time YouTubers. It's hard to spend as much time and effort, particularly when you know you've got very little chance, if practically no chance, of making a career out of it. Yep. VidCon just happened and all that just happened, and there was nothing announced for VidCon or anything that said, oh, we're bringing back the small-time YouTubers, we want to support small-time YouTubers. It's like, no, it's like, we don't care about you at all. Which they'd already said, so we already knew that. Moving on though, I want to get into a rant. Steam has a game called Machine with a Big Gun. It is a terrible looking, like, programming art school project looking game. And man, I'm just gonna have to stop. Like, maybe if I only look at publishers. No, because publishers and developers both can have these new ugly looking pages. And because of that, it just makes it more difficult to see what else they've developed and how it's been rated. But I assume not well. Let's see. How do we want to push this way? Because this one guy has been silenced, that's done more damage than anything else. We've got a game on Steam called Quattro, Q-U-A-R-T-O. So I guess it's not Quattro, it's Quarto. Mispronouncing it for a Spanish word there. Quarto is a subtle strategy game and the simplest rules with more than 1 million units sent, and this abstract game is a masterpiece with worldwide fame. I've never heard of it, but it looks interesting. It looks like some kind of 3-dimensional checkers chess or something. That being said, the video game version of this doesn't seem like it's adding too much, and it feels like it is just a cell phone port of the game. They want $6.99 for it. And I would like to understand and play the base game that is here, but I don't think this is the way to do that. Let's see. Damage to a minion and enemy hero. Hit that. Hit that. And then in return. Ah, yes, I didn't talk about that.
Checkmate.
Let's talk about This was big news, and I should have talked about it in the last recording, and I forgot about it. A prominent Final Fantasy XIV community leader has been accused of blackmail and sexual harassment by over a dozen women. For years, Old Bear Stormborn was seen as the community leader, but a dozen women allege he was a sexual harasser and emotional abuser. So this is Final Fantasy XIV, which is, I believe, the online one, and this is a community guy, so not, I don't think, an employee per se of Square Enix. So let's see. This is, of course, one of those hashtag #MeToo issues where, let's see. Yes, Final Fantasy is the MMO. We're done with the daily Town Brawl. I'm gonna stop playing the Town Brawl because I do not like it. Still, we haven't gotten any indication on Hearthstone that there's a new expansion even coming out pretty soon. Like, it would be rather surprising. It'd be surprising either way they do it. If they announce, hey, there's a new expansion coming out today, or if they say there's a new expansion coming out in 3 weeks or 6 weeks. Just the way it's been handled has left a lot of room for some weirdness. Mark those. And so we just now need to play dragons, so let's find our dragons deck, which I think I made a dragons deck for every account. I think it's this custom mage, so let's play that. Let's see. Trying to skim this article, like, let's see, blah 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 blah. This is really not the kind of article where you just say blah blah blah. It's like the entire article is apparently a
Jane versus Rexa.
Let the hunt begin.
This is one of those articles that's just gonna try to lay everything bare, which is crazy because PC Gamer does not bother to write articles in depth on any other topic. So you can see definitely a bias when you have the entirety of every bit of information they could get in this. I'm just scrolling down and there's just so many more pictures, so many more words. Yeah, okay, there, I'm done. And 25 pages if it was printed out on paper of this article.
What to do?
And all it really boils down to, from best I can get from skimming, is it's an accusation, believable accusation. Frankly, almost every accusation is believable. I heard on a different YouTuber somebody make the claim that if a number of accusations come out, or if it's consistent accusations are coming out, then you have to assume that the person is guilty, just because so there's like some kind of general metric, which doesn't really work, because there's certainly ways you can conspire to make a certain number of accusations, or just have one person make a false accusation and then a few hours later a different person make a similar false accusation, because then it starts to look like a pattern even if the person's never done anything wrong. Not that I'm saying this person hasn't done anything wrong. Honestly, none of this really has anything to do with anything. It's Seems like they're labeling him as a community leader is a over description. It seems like this old bear Stormborn was probably just a leader of some kind of, you know, Final Fantasy group. Maybe he founded it. And maybe he didn't do things though appropriately. Maybe he was extremely young and said some things, but who knows? Like, I can't really trust any of this because I don't trust PC Gamer, and I actually do want to believe it innocent until proven guilty, and I don't even know if there's any guilt legally to speak here. Like, somebody was a jerk, somebody called people names. That seems to be all that I could skim out of it. Somebody was saying misogynist things in a video game. It's like, if we're getting down to the point where every person who's ever said something they really didn't mean in video games is forever going to be labeled as a horrible human being, unable to live in society or be treated like a human being again, well, then I think every single video game in the world is in trouble, because if you were a kid and you were playing video games, you either did or said something at some point that you probably shouldn't have. There are certainly types of people that wouldn't realize that's the case, and there are certainly types of people that would realize that is the case and still not admit it. But I think if you're being honest with yourself, if you've wherever kid you've said or done something that was inappropriate, like I certainly know, maybe not in video games, but I certainly know in my youth I have done things that I've come to regret later. One of the issues that I was like on this other video that I don't want to just give it publication and reference it, but one of the issues was separating it. Someone was talking about separating the art from the artist, or in fact not separating the art from the artist, and it brings out like a really odd idea that somebody who has done something wrong, somebody who's been convicted of doing something wrong, you can't enjoy or have society enriched by the things they did right, which is crazy, because then you're tainting the art creation with some kind of ideological sin that's probably not in the art. Nelson Mandela was in prison at the time. Like, could you make this argument if he was in prison right now and say, well, anything he's ever said or done that people agree with is null and void because of one thing? I mean, it literally gives no hope. And if you want to rehabilitate people in any form or fashion, the number one thing you have to do is give them hope that they would be allowed back into society, accepted, and that they can contribute to society. If you don't give them any hope, then you're just going to have recidivism, because they're going to, if you're telling them you're a criminal and you're always going to be a criminal, and you have no chance of not being a criminal in our minds, then guess what? They're going to act like a criminal and be a criminal still, because you haven't given them a path to a better life or better actions. And frankly, it gets ridiculous if you're the type of person that's going to try to make somebody apologize every single day for the rest of their life and vow and scrape and just forever be defined by their one mistake. And it's certainly highly political too. Who gets forgiven and who doesn't swings quite a bit depending on your own personal political views. But I'm getting into a political rant, so I probably don't want to admit. My point here is you've got to separate the art from the artist because they're different things. It's just that simple. Do I have a spells deck? Or am I just going to play Spiteful Priest? Because I've got a lot of spells I need to play. I can play Secret Mage. Let's try that. We've got a game on Steam. I believe this is a Chinese only game. Yeah. So, RPG Maker, Chinese game, visual novel. So we don't need to talk about that. Somebody's got a game on Steam called Overlook, local multiplayer game up to 16 players. It seems not to be much of a game, although they seem to have sort of tried to make it look a lot better than it really is.
Jaina versus Jaina.
So there's players split into teams. You play as an infected robot, or you play as an overseer to seek out and find infected robots. And then there's these robots with light bulbs for heads walking around, but you're looking at them from the top down. Doesn't seem like it has enough of a concept in itself. And see, that's gonna be the main issue. This developer's made several other games that, one of which has got mixed reviews. They want $13.49 for Overlook, a local multiplayer game. That's the name of it, by the way. Overlook : local multiplayer game dash up to 16 players. 10% off for $13.49. No reason to look at that. Let's see. PC Gamer has an article. Corsair makes a major move into streaming with an Elgato Gaming acquisition. So, let's see. Corsair today announced it's acquiring Elgato's gaming division. That's pretty much all that needs to be said about that article. And in comparison to the #MeToo article from PC Gamer, this article has 5 paragraphs, each paragraph holding 3 sentences in it at most. It has one thumbnail picture, and that's it. So, a somewhat big industry thing gets kind of nothing as far as coverage. #MeToo movement, which at best is a just overall movement that is general news. News that you could easily argue shouldn't be reported by PC Gamer since they don't cover general news too much, but since it involves somebody on video games, maybe. However, the amount of time and coverage put on it certainly significantly different. Moving on, we've got a game called Fin Summer VR, Fin Summer VR. So it seems like this would be. It says experience the Finnish midsummer in virtual reality, and then it seems to be kind of a joke or a meme game, and the graphics don't look that good. Yep. For this VR game, they want $8.49.
We have many secrets.
Darn it, played that out of order. I should have played this first. It's the first game from them, 15% off, $8.49. I don't think anybody really needs to play Finn Summer VR. Although it would be nice maybe to learn about the Finnish society a little bit more. We got a little bit of that from Witcher 3, but in a fantasy realm, so not a lot. Let's see, we've got a game on Steam called Labyrinth of Umbra, and it looks awful. Looks like a just awful. It's gray, just gray everywhere. The entire screen is gray. Seems like it's random Tetris pieces of gray designing a puzzle, but it doesn't even look like you stay within the edges of the puzzle, so I'm not sure if it really is a puzzle at all.
An incredible discovery.
It may very well be that it's actually
For Dalaran.
something completely different as far as how the game is supposed to play. But there's nothing here. It's 99 cents, no discount for Labyrinth of Umbra. Today's been quite a list of games that have been pretty bad quality. Labyrinth of Umbra, by the way, the only game from that developer. So in the middle of the Steam Summer Sale apparently seems to be the time to release highly expensive bad quality games, because we didn't really see a lot of that earlier. When the summer sale started.
I found it first.
So maybe most of the people who put these horrible games on Steam didn't know the summer sale was coming, so it took them a week to go through the process. That certainly could have been the case. That might also be the case that why Valve never really announces the release date for games that are going to be on sale or summer sales. PC Gamer has an article, the Cyberpunk 2077 demo at E3 was earlier than alpha. Full release could be years away. So earlier than alpha is just not a thing. You cannot be earlier than alpha. You can be an alpha for a decade if you want to, or need to, but you can't be earlier. It goes alpha, then beta, then gold, and then full release, and then any versions past that are patches and version upgrades. Like, saying it's earlier than alpha argues the point that the Cyberpunk 2077 demo at E3 was not even Cyberpunk 2077 at that point. And what kind of advertisement is this to have to come out and say this? It's ridiculous. We've got to hype this game, and we've got to get people interested in this game, and we've got to show them something because they're already too hyped about the game. But we've got nothing really to show, so let's instead just show something that's not true or anywhere close to being what the final product is going to be. Just play this. This,
I'm late. I'm late.
and then this, and then in the turn. Like, that's just a ridiculous way to advertise the game. Why not talk about the story? Well, I guess maybe you don't want to spoil the story, so why not maybe just show characters in the game? But characters would be talking about the story too. Like, I wouldn't want it to turn into a creepy ogle fest of 3D characters, but and that's pretty much what the trailer was anyway. They really just got to get the release times closer to the trailer times.
I'm late.
it's just not smart to do this. We'll put out a teaser for a game. Elder Scrolls 6, same instance. Gonna be half a decade away. Like I'm gonna get to a point eventually in a few decades where games will be announced at E3, and if I'm still watching E3, I'm gonna have to question whether I seriously am gonna still be alive just from old age by the time these games come out. Moving on, Gamasutra has an article. Mojang partners with its players to help rebuild coral reefs. Mojang has partnered with its community of players and students to help real-world oceans through the Coral Crafters, an initiative that tasks Minecraft players to populate its in-game oceans with kelp, forest, shipwrecks, and marine life. It's another instance of studios working together with their community to raise money for charitable causes, as Blizzard did back in May with the release of the limited edition Overwatch skin, with the proceeds going towards breast cancer research. So that was, there we go. I should have not done that turn. I should have done this. The initiative will begin with the Minecraft update Aquatic, which brought an array of this. As part of this update,
I dream and the world trembles. I dream and the world trembles.
Like, the quote here is, we managed to do it. We donate $100,000 to the Nature Conservancy, yeah, to help them with their amazing work helping the oceans. Or players were able to hit the goal of 10 million coral blocks within a matter of days, leading Mojang to donate $100,000 to the conservatory, the Nature Conservatory, a non-profit working to save and rebuild coral reefs around the world. I don't even know how you rebuild the coral reefs. You just heavily encourage them to grow and stop discouraging them to not grow with pollution or other bad actions. We're making progress towards the number of spells we need to play. Yeah, I need to play 18 more spells, alright. PC Gamer has an article, Pro Overclocker DER, the number 8 AUER, which Durator? I thought it was dinosaur, but I guess it isn't that. On why the race to add CPU cores doesn't make any sense, and why you should still overclock.
You asked for
also,
it.
why we need more CPU demanding games as favorite CPU coolers and more. So this is an interview with a pro overclocker. I heard a story on the Giant Bombcast about how one of the Dota teams got caught having macros and using them during tournament play for probably not a very good reason to even use macros in the first place to cheat, but it was kind of funny because they're talking about macros, and here I'm running a macro every now and then during the Steam clicker sale because I'm not going to mess up the arthritis in my hands just to play the clicker game. Maybe I'll make it to level 10 as far as the Steam clicker game. I really don't care. Getting back to this PC article though, I don't really need to read the article to tell you the issue, but here's a quote from the Raider. We need higher speeds, more efficiency, we don't need more cores. The thing about cores is 8 is probably more than you're ever gonna need. Like, in all honesty, because 99.9% of all games are programmed to run on a single core, and if that single core and that single thread in the core is only hitting 1.2 gigahertz Maybe you've got some kind of boost functions in your CPU that brings it up to a 2.4 gigahertz in a single thread, which probably not. That's not fast enough. As far as more efficiency, there's only so far I think you can go making a CPU be efficient, and it really is, you're making your CPU more efficient to counteract inefficient code, which is certainly a major issue in programming in general. But yes, if I have a 2.4 gigahertz, or closer probably now to 3 gigahertz CPU, it would be much better to have 3 gigahertz on 4 cores than it would be to have 6 gigahertz on 8 cores, but actually each individual core and each individual is slower. That's not the right math. So I didn't say that sentence right at all. What I just said would have made sense had I said it was a 3 gigahertz on 4 cores versus 3 gigahertz on 8 cores. You're better off 3 gigahertz on 4 cores because each thread, usually there's 2 threads per core,
Job's done.
It's going to be faster. Video games in particular, their code typically has to all happen in order too, and so programming things to happen out of order is just not something that is needed. Whereas other programs could potentially set something like the background rendering of a different area in a game at a very low priority. Because it's a video game, though, you can't set background rendering at a particularly low priority because the player might decide to turn around, and he expects to actually see the background when he turns around. There are some other things certainly that need to be improved on CPUs, like the interfaces, the number of PCI Express pipes, and he's mentioning this too. Let's see, faster memory speed. Memory speed has been not increasing as fast. He's talking about overclocking an SSD. I wouldn't recommend going that extreme. I don't think you really need to overclock in general. If you're getting into that, you're playing a game on top of playing games, and you're risking your expensive computer doing that. Where if you buy a good computer that can run its stock things, and it can run all the games you want at the video settings you want, you're better off having it run at the stock speeds so it will last longer and not burn out. One of the things overclockers often don't take into account is the fact that most people want their PCs to last for a much longer time than somebody who is constantly upgrading and constantly overclocking and constantly just going on to the next big thing. Moving on though, PC Gamer has an article, what did you buy in the Steam summer sale? We're stocking up on games and we actually believe we're going to get around to playing them. Which that's the joke here. Let's see. So, one person named Samuel Roberts said he bought robots and solar panels. Jody McGregor said she bought Cyber Pizza. These are not the names of the games. These are descriptions of the types of games that they bought. So this isn't even really an article that you can skim. Let's see. Like one of them said they bought, I guess the Left 4 Dead 1. Tom Sr. said he bought a bunch of anime nonsense. Terry Wilder just says, I'm sorry. And he said, I bought a bunch of Hearthstone card packs for full price on battle.net. Sorry. So, like, not a good article. Like, doesn't really add anything to anything. They hear what other people spend on Steam. This is hardly a good shopping guide. It's just, hey, let's have all these people who we want to be celebrities and personalities on PC Gamer respond to a simple question so we can post an article about it. Let's see. TechRaptor has an article. Phantom, F-A-N-T-O-M, announces a 5 terabyte external hard drive for Xbox One. And it is designed to plug into the Xbox One attachment. Otherwise, that's probably the only thing that makes it any different than any other 5 terabyte hard drive you could get. It does have a USB hub, and it is, yeah, of course, customized to look like the Xbox One, like it belongs with the Xbox One. 5 terabyte hard drives in that size, I guess fine nowadays. I guess there's enough space for a 3.5-inch hard drive. It probably isn't the greatest one, but you probably don't even need a great 5 terabyte speeds. If you're going through USB 3.0, it's still going to be kind of slow, and the hard drive can be a little bit slower. I'm not sure what the real world experience would be playing like Xbox One these days, whether you really need a 5 terabyte hard drive, or whether this is for the most extreme cases of people who download games and keep them installed on their computer forever. The connector looks like it's a proprietary connector on the Xbox One for the external hard drives. And if it is, then I could certainly see there being some issues of trying to just plug in a USB hard drive and it not working, and there would definitely be issues of trying to plug in the special Phantom 5 terabyte Xbox One hard drive into a computer. I think you're better off being able to use an external hard drive on multiple devices over the life of it, at least, maybe not at the same time. PC Gamer has an article. Fortnite may have surpassed $300 million in revenue in a single month. A recent report indicates the growth is slowing, but it seems still a monster. I wouldn't be surprised if Fortnite is slowing down too. So still trying to play spells. So play this.
I'm late. I'm late.
And this. That was a waste. I should have just done that. PC Gamer has an article. South Korean court sends Overwatch hack creator to jail. The $180,000 he made selling the hack led to harsher than usual punishments. So yeah, South Korea is serious about esports, and if you're programming hacks or something, you're going to jail in South Korea, where most other countries you probably wouldn't. You get a fine at most if you're even caught, or if they even care to investigate. Let's see. We've got a game on Steam called Squirgle, Squirgle. The name is awful, and the game does seem to be kind of like a one-screen game that seems to play in part with color also. So I kind of want to wishlist this game just because it looks like it's a different type of puzzle, even though it's a one-screen Unity game. Let's see what the price is. 15% off for $2.54. That's way too expensive, and it has a special edition for $4.42.
What to do?
but I may keep an eye on it and see if it gets cheaper. This is the first game from this developer, and they're selling a soundtrack in a special edition already, which seems rather extreme. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. And then we've got a game on Steam called Big Pogo Man, which is an asset flip where you're playing a character on a pogo bouncing around what I assume was pre-rendered or just randomly placed items. It almost seems like a game. Items are floating in the air and you're supposed to pogo your way up these floating items to get higher and higher. But it's just too much random stuff to believe that the game is actually original art or original concepts. 10% off for $4.49. No reason to wish list that game. And of course, I don't know why I'm even bothering to check anymore. It's the first game from that developer.
We have many secrets.
Let's see. Gematsu has an article. The World Ends With You, the final remix, launches September 27th in Japan. It's a Wonderful Bag limited edition announced. This is a Square Enix game. Maybe it's only for download. I would like to see the final remix come to the West, and I'd like to see it come to PC. I did definitely want to play the game, the World Ends With You as a game, because it's this, I think, anime-esque rhythm game. Slight visual novel aspects, but not too much than that, I think, if I'm recalling. Like, there's definitely entire games that I saw advertisements for like 10 years ago, and I never got around to playing them, and I'm still thinking to myself, man, it'd be nice to have tried that and played that.
For $1.
Next game we have on Steam is called Soul at Stake. It's a early access gore action indie violent game. Let's see. It's a Oriental themed 1 vs 4 survival horror game. It has mixed results. It came out June 26th, and it has already 62% of 331 user reviews in the past 30 days rated positively. So it seems like it would almost be a good game, but not quite there.
We have many secrets. For $1.
Just like I'm not gonna win yet. If there's a single player story where you were in a Asian area, I don't even know why this is saying it's Oriental themed, but it could also as easily be set in old England. Like, the concept of hide and seek and chasing after ghosts would make a nice horror game. There's plenty of those out there, but there's still room for them. A lot of them didn't come to PC, a lot of them are extremely old now. We get a lot less now. As far as Soul at Stake, it's multiplayer only, early access, 40% off for $10.79, and even at that price, it's not getting very well reviewed. It's a simplified Chinese game, so, you know, every time I see a Chinese game, I suspect that it's not done with the most care or quality, and it was the first game from that developer. Have we played enough spells yet? Nope, still need to play about 7 spells. PC Gamer has an article. The team behind Alien Isolation is now working on a first-person tactical shooter. Creative Assembly is currently recruiting for an unannounced IP. So Creative Assembly, I guess, is known for the 2014 Alien Isolation game, which I guess didn't have anything to do with the Gearbox Alien game, or wasn't that, or was that the Gearbox game?
I will fight with honor.
They kind
You
of
asked
needed to get past the Gearbox Alien game and just continue to make them. Give it to a different company and just say, we want this license to happen. We want a Alien game out so we can keep it in the zeitgeist of people's minds, even if we're not making Alien movies. And I haven't heard of any talk of an Alien movie coming out in the next year or so. I think there's one sort of in development, but that's kind of it. No guarantee that they've even started shooting. PC Gamer 2 days ago had an article, what the heck is going on with Hearthstone matchmaking. Top players saying climbing the ladder has become demotivating, if not outright impossible. So yeah, top players are not happy, regular players are not happy. Nobody's happy with the matchmaking. I don't particularly understand why the top players would have any complaint, because in theory, if you're the #1 legendary character player, you've got to beat effectively everybody in the world anyways. So if you're saying you're getting matched against people who are beating you too often, then that just means the matchmaking has been improved and they've actually found people with hidden talent that were not getting up in the rank as where they belong. So matchmaking might be going really good. It's just that the loud minority of pro Hearthstone players might just be complaining. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm stuck here at rank 22. Matchmaking seems like it's going as badly as it always did for me. I'm not getting a lot of victories. It never have. So moving on, Game Sutra has an article. Ubisoft CEO, our goal is to provoke thought, not to make political statements. In a side note, a lot of the members of Nintendo of America went to the Seattle Pride event and they were wearing shirts with Nintendo logos on them that were gay pride. I don't think this was a 100% officially endorsed by Nintendo of Japan or Nintendo of America thing, but they seemed like nobody was gonna complain about it, which fair enough. Like, Nintendo of America themselves was not at the Pride thing. The only real complaint there that I heard was, and the only reason I even got mentioned, because it certainly wasn't mentioned by the mainstream video game media, who are all very progressive and pro gay rights and such, is Reggie Fils-Aimé at one point, probably just responding directly to whatever question was being asked at the time or whatever issue was being raised at the time, said that Nintendo did not want to make political statements, that they felt political statements are for others to make. And arguably, if you directly translate that, yes, the employees are making a political statement. They're just using the Nintendo logo, which they shouldn't have done. Like, in general, you shouldn't do it. Like, if you're at a gay pride thing, you should be celebrating the gay things, not where you work. Corporations are not people, regardless of what they say, and they don't have souls, and they don't care about any political leanings. Get back to this Gamma Sutra article. The quote is, "We don't want to say, do that, think this way. Our goal is to make sure after playing you're more aware." I don't know why people are asking all these questions. If I was the Ubisoft CEO, I would shut down all these questions and been like, "You'll see. I think you'll be happy with the story in the game." Just say something like that. Like stop getting pigeonholed and forced into try talking to people who will not be happy until you denounce all right-wing ideology and conservative ideology. Like, stop letting the media dictate the conversation there. This is bad journalism for the people who are asking these questions. It's bad responses for Ubisoft. Ubisoft just wants to be a company that makes money. That's all they want to do. They just don't want to get acquired by some company like Vivendi. And see, I have this What's on Steam page open, and I'm not even sure I need that because I think I may have fixed my the number of people I'm following on Twitter. If the number of people I follow on Twitter is too high, I imagine a lot of people are following way too many people on Twitter. So I'm at the Humble Bundle store, so we're pretty much out of news. I'll maybe scroll down through my Twitter feed. Humble Bundle has DC Comics in graphic audio, which is weird, certainly. Like, maybe good for people who are deaf or people who don't want to read comic books, but if you don't want to read comic books, then you probably don't care about comics at all. Let's see, I'm on my Twitch page, and apparently Neverwinter has something as a Twitch Prime reward, and my Twitch page is still here, still working fine. And then this, I don't even know, this is still working. And the calendar, I think I'm gonna abandon the calendar idea. Like, yeah, I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Quickly.
Should have hit this guy. And I'm on the Hearthstone page for the Taverns of Time expansion. It ends July 3rd, so we've got only, let's see, wow, we've got 6 more days. I'm surprised about that. 6 more days of this expansion and this stuff. Gunfire Games is still liking my Darksiders videos, every single one. That's nice. I also got one of, I imagine, billion Twitter people called Gamer Girls. Maybe not a real account, almost certainly not following and liking my videos, but I can't complain if somebody's liking and following my videos. And so we're done again. So how much time do we have? According to this, we have like 25 minutes. So let's play one more game at least and get close to an hour. Like, this is the very first instance, I think, ever on Hearthstone where I've finished halfway through a recording, because I would have been, I guess, 35 minutes over had I just kept on playing and covering the news in the previous recording, but because I didn't, and probably made the right choice, I'm certainly made the right choice. Now I'm 25 minutes short, so one game should get us closer to it. Like PC Gamer 2 minutes ago put out an article, Ubisoft wants to be political and neutral at the same time. I don't think they want to be political, they just want to tell a story that happens in the United States. That's hardly wanting to be political. Unless there's just something that's being said that I'm not hearing. It seems like it's just PC Gamer and other mainstream journalists pushing Ubisoft around with these articles for no reason. Just bullying tactics. Hearthstone, we've been keeping an eye on the feedback regarding Legend matchmaking, and we are sharing some information about that and plans going forward very soon. So they are going to make some change to Legend matchmaking, and I'm sure half the people will be happy about that, and half the people won't.
Time goes short.
At best. PC Gamer has one former Bungie composer, Marty O'Donnell, could be coming back to Halo. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, having a composer come back and do your next game or series is pretty easy. Just hire him again. Maybe they didn't have him in the previous Halo game. I wouldn't be surprised. That previous Halo game was pretty weird and just off the mark as far as staying within canon and story, from what I hear.
You are the Shadow's puppet.
YouTube made a video, a help video, explaining content ID and copyright in their usual haphazard. Copyright and content ID is a good thing. Here's how you can navigate it, and it's like, no, this whole system's a mess. The fact that you're making a help video on a broken system tells me that you're overly committed to the broken system. Oh. I'm scrolling down my Twitter feed. I imagine I won't even see. H1Z1 has a new 8x8 kilometer map called Outbreak. Hearthstone number 937 aired on my channel an hour ago. I do believe one of the videos today aired like a minute after I started streaming. Fortnite's temporary creative mode is coming soon. Interesting. So I wonder if that means for a timer counts down and everybody has to build, or everybody builds and then a timer counts down and then you can start shooting, or is it a standalone construction mode with no shooting? Fortnite would probably benefit from having a permanent creative mode. Some players would just want that. Let's see. PC Gamer says, do you use a VPN? If so, what do you use? And are you happy with it? Question mark. Interesting. I have two PC Gamers. I have PC Gamer Feed and I have PC Gamer in general, back to back. So one of these I think I can probably mute. Like, they damaged all other minions. Let's do this first. This. And then do this. Job's done. PC Gamer says Conan Exile's first DLC is bringing Kihitai to the exiled lands. I don't know if that's a species or a character. PC Gamer has an article, Telltale's old engine won't be around for much longer. This is probably just a retweet of the previous announcement as far as them getting rid of the Telltale tool.
Let me change your mind.
Job's done.
In favor of the Unity engine.
Fluffy. Snuggles.
PC Gamer has an article. Casey Hudson says BioWare would like to get more experimental in the future. Seems like what they may have started doing is there's been about a week, maybe a week and a half now between the time the E3 ended, and because of that they may have gotten back to a point where they can interview people and get new articles out of people, whereas for a couple of weeks there they couldn't do that. Let's see, if I hit them with this and this, and I can hit them with that, and that's kind of it.
Obey.
Job done.
Gamma Citra has one saying Sony looking at cross-platform play possibilities. I think Sony looking at that is a overstatement. They're pretending like they're looking at it. I don't see any reason why they would cave in at this point. Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition episode 28 aired 3 hours ago on my channel. Let's see.
No.
Let's see. Game of Thrones Conquest players find bot exploiting user data. So people playing the free-to-play mobile game Game of Thrones Conquest. Interesting. Let's see.
Medicine insects.
Is someone injured?
Just go ahead and draw as many cards as possible. Scrolling down.
Join the guild.
The Tomorrow Corporation is looking for Korean translators who would, I guess, translate Human Resources Machine or some other game. The Tomorrow Corporation, they're working on a new game that's very similar to Human Resources Machine. PC Gamer has the best webcam, I suppose, if you're in the machine. Looking for a webcam. That's an interesting, certainly, thought about what is the experience for a regular gamer. Are you pulling out a webcam and talking to your friends and looking at your friends? Are you just rocking a headset, or are you doing nothing? Like, a significant number of people, I imagine, are doing literally nothing and not communicating at all. But for the people that are communicating, I doubt very many of them, particularly if they're playing on PS4 or Xbox One, I don't think you can really pull out a webcam and do that without running that through a phone or something. Do people while gaming pull out their cell phone and video chat? I don't know. 4 hours ago, Assassin's Creed Revelations number 26 aired on my channel. I believe that was the one that aired like a minute after I started streaming. Still not getting notifications for streaming. I heard yet another famous YouTuber, big YouTuber, saying that the more you post, the more it hurts your channel, and you should wait every couple days and only have one video per day at most. That's just not gonna work. I mean, it might work if I just stopped making footage, but there is a downside of me being lazy and not making footage, and the downside is I'll get bored and maybe stop playing games altogether and start doing something completely different. So I want to stay in the game and actually make footage, and so at least 2 videos a day have to come out, 1 live stream, 1 video. Otherwise I at that, anything less than that, my channel's not making any content on a really.
Rotten to my core.
Let's see, 3 damage to all of the minions. Have a friend of minions healed.
Meddlesome insects.
Probably should have played this first.
Be gone!
The International Game Developers Association, or the IGDA, posted, "Do you make games for kids? If so, please consider participating in this call for evidence. It's critical that hashtag game devs be part of the conversation about children and privacy protections." So this is, I believe, a UK organization trying to find out if they want to pass more restrictive laws to protect children's privacy in video games. Maybe they need to do that, maybe they don't. Hard to tell. I think probably UK's goes too far in all its restrictions and laws in the first place, so maybe you can convince them from going crazy with it. Let's see. Apparently 4 Devolver digital games are on sale. It's a bundle just through Steam. It's called Devolver Done Quick. It has Enter the Gungeon, Titan Souls, Minute, High Hell, and Samurai Warrior Classic. So it's about $22.68 if you don't own any of those. One assumes it would be a little bit cheaper if you did own.
Must consider.
Own some of those games, like I know I do. Summer Games Done Quick is happening right now. I didn't really talk about it because there's not a ton of stuff to really say. It's just, well, the usual instance of the it's kind of the same games as last year and the year before. I think once you catch up and see all the games done quick, there's often not a lot to watch. Watching them speedrun one of the Metroid Prime games for the 5th time doesn't really change a lot. They still every now and then will do a random indie game I've never heard of, but even that is becoming less and less likely as my knowledge base of at least having heard of a game is increasing quite a bit. I'm not sure about the Steam Clicker game. Like, part of the Steam Clicker game, you get these outfits and you dress up your characters. I'm not sure how that is going to play out when the game is over. They said you were going to get to keep the alien character you're playing as, but I don't have a clue in what form or fashion that takes. 444. Let's see, is this gonna kill me?
That's not a valid target.
If I kill this one. turn there. PC Gamer has an article. Forza Horizon 4 was downloaded early, revealing the car list. Gamer Sutra has a blog, The Art of Difficult Card Game Design, Part 1. TechRaptor has an article, Norse action adventure game Finball launches this November. We'll get more information about that game later, I imagine. Scrolling down Twitter. This is not what I want to do, but I don't know any other way to stretch it out to an hour if I'm not scrolling down Twitter. I think I've hit the point where I don't even see any news. So, scrolling down Twitter at this point is probably pointless.
The scourge will devour all.
Bonfire Studios is looking for a full-time recruiter to join their team in Orange County, California. I could imagine being a recruiter and then moving into the video game industry and never really expecting that to have happened.
Out of my jungle!
So we gotta do this.
Die,
and
mage.
This. In return.
I'm running out of cards.
PC Gamer has an article, Fortnite players destroys tilted towers in one shot. Nothing of value is lost. Interesting. I don't know what tilted towers is, but I imagine it was something designed to be shot a lot more than once before it fell apart.
Now how about...
Scrolling down Twitter. Heavy Rain heads to PlayStation Plus for July. So the game before, a game made by the same people who made Detroit Become Human, is now free. And Heavy Rain never came off the PC, I mean the PS4, so you're still kind of stuck playing it on the PlayStation.
I have no cards left.
Eurogamer had an article, Pokemon Go player count highest since 2016 summer launch. So they're going in an upward direction, which is kind of surprising, but not amazingly surprising. Like, the game is slightly improving with every little update. Scrolling down. Play the game, too. Play the game.
Awaken, my children.
I have a mind control this guy. And I've got it.
I have no cards left.
It's about to lose. Unless he can win in this turn. This is killing my finger. LEGO has released a whole line of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Harry Potter minifigs. If you're big into that. Like, I wouldn't be super opposed to them. Most of the Harry Potter characters look perfectly fine as just random British kids in a British school. So even if you're not into Harry Potter, you could think about reusing them. There we go. And we do this. This.
Right away.
That. And in return. So I'm hit the bottom of my Twitter feed. Team YouTube just said 7 minutes ago, if you're noticing audio and video syncing issues, know that we are currently working to fix all impacted videos. Notice uploads between June 21st and 26th may have this issue, and only when viewing at lower resolutions. So thanks YouTube, you can't fix that. That's 5 days in which videos were going up, and you're not trying to fix it at all, are you? Five damage there. 3 there. Here.
Right away.
Seriously, how many of these does he have?
I can't win them all.
How many of these did he have? Okay. So 23 minutes. What in the world? Apparently the alarm went off 23 minutes ago. I don't know. I feel like I've gone an hour. I think we're good. I've been up and down my Twitter feed. Maybe I can get around to doing some Black Mirror later tonight. I say that every time. We're above 5,000, so we're good there. I think if we're not above 5,000 gold for 50 card packs on each of the 3 different regions, we probably almost certainly would be by the time the next expansion is announced and comes out, even if it comes out a week from now. That's it for this stream. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. When you subscribe, click the notification bell, if you will. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites like Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description. I'm asking everybody to friend me on Steam and gift me a game or a gift card as a way of supporting this channel. That's the only monetization I have right now, so if you see any video ads on any of my videos, know that those are copyright claims and you can skip them and ad block them to your heart's content. That's it for the stream. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.